Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
Once again, this is your host, Matt Hasley. We're back live on Talk Time with Val. I'm doing a little substitution here. Val's under the weather, and I'm taking over the helm for her. But if you'd like to do is interact with us on Facebook, you can do that at Armed Radio 1 on Facebook. Or you can hashtag it Armed Radio on Twitter. Or even log on to Armed Radio Twitter and tweet us either way, and I'll see it pop up. Just anything you want to talk about, questions or anything like that. Also, you can reach us live if you'd like to call in at 1-866-225-5401. We're coming across so many platforms, and we're growing every day thanks to you. Special thanks. We just went through our sponsors out there, but I got a special thanks to Vox Mobile. Remember, you get a local phone number even when you're out of the country, and receive unlimited calls to it for one low monthly price. Also, Ritzy Reruns offer hot and trendy clothing at bargain prices. Remember, if you're looking for something for yourself or your kids, Ritzy Reruns or We Runs, where fashion isn't full price. And our Chung Kim's Black Belt Academy, remember, May 3rd, they got the International Taekwondo U.S. Metropolitan Taekwondo Championship, 42nd Annual. If you think you got what it takes, come out and show it. Find out more information at chungkim.com. Going on to NFL news. Apparently, Donovan McNabb, former quarterback Donovan McNabb, was released Thursday from Arizona jail after serving a one-day sentence for a DUI arrest late last year. Records released by West Mesa Judge Court show McNabb served his time Wednesday and was released Thursday morning. McNabb, 37, was arrested December 15th on the Salt River, Pima, Maricopa Indian community east of Phoenix, according to court records. McNabb pled guilty on March 27th, and 9 days of his sentence was suspended. Maricopa County Sheriff's Office released McNabb's mugshot Thursday morning, but wouldn't release any information on the case, said he was not in their custody. This started a media frenzy about McNabb's arrest, which hadn't been previously reported. I'll tell you what, that's the one thing, you got to be so careful about nowadays is drinking and driving. It's so easy to be over the limit and drink and drive. That's why if I have to go anywhere, I'm an ex-police officer, I will not drink and drive. I'll get a cab, and the reason why is I do not want to do is bend them and spread them for anybody except for my doctor. I'm sorry, but spread the cheek. I'm not, it's just embarrassing. Nobody wants to go through that. And it's not a fun deal. I've seen too many people go into jail, and it's just not pretty. But and also, just think of the cost after one DUI. What it costs? It's probably anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000. What it costs you, and some of the places you can lose your job. I know with some city jobs, you're required to have a license that, they can drop you in a heartbeat instantly once you get busted for it. So it's always, better safe than sorry. Chad Johnson, a.k.a. Ocho Cinco, will make his return to the gridiron in the Canadian Football League. Apparently, the veteran receiver signed a 2-year deal with the Montreal Alouettes on Thursday after impressing the team officials at minicamp in Vero Beach, Florida. He appeared in an NFL game during the 2011 season with the New England Patriots. Apparently, they said Chad did an outstanding job the last 3 days. Alouettes general manager Jim Popp said in a statement, as we added him to the mix to see how he can communicate with players, how he held himself, the way he physically held up, his true interest in coming to the CFL. It was a total evaluation, so it was a good fit. We're very happy and very excited to be on the field again, and we're very happy to welcome him to the Alouettes. So, Canadian Football League bound. Apparently, Jackson owes ex-agent over $500,000. An arbitrator on Tuesday ruled that Deshaun Jackson owes former agent Drew Rosenhaus, $516,000 in unpaid loans and fees, according to multiple media reports. Yahoo Sports reported Rosenhaus originally sought $777,000 for loans, interest, credit cards, charges, and insurance premiums. Rosenhaus filed the grievance in 2013, shortly after he was fired by Jackson, according to reports. Jackson intends an appealing decision, which was handed down by an arbitrator. Roger Kaplan, the Philadelphia Inquirer, reported. After leaving Rosenhaus, Jackson signed with Joel Siegel, who negotiated the receiver's 3-year, $24 million contract, $16 million guaranteed, with the Washington Redskins. That came days after his release from the Philadelphia Eagles. Wow. $24 million. That would be nice. Apparently there was arrest related to the Aaron Hernandez case. A man has been arrested as part of the gun trafficking probe related to the murder case against former New England Patriots tight end Aaron Hernandez. Federal authorities arrested 23-year-old Oscar Hernandez Jr. on Wednesday evening in Florida on charges of obstruction of justice, witness tampering, and lying to federal grand jury. The case is related to the athlete's case. The U.S. Attorney Office in Boston said the men themselves are not related. Oscar Hernandez is accused of lying to the grand jury, investigating the transportation of guns from Florida to Massachusetts. The inquiry was focused on 3 guns recovered in connection with the 2013 killing of semi-pro player and Aaron Hernandez associate Odin Lloyd. Tandon Doss, apparently Indianapolis police have arrested Jacksonville Jaguars wide receiver Tandon Doss on disorderly conduct charge, but he will not be prosecuted. A police report says 24-year-old Doss was out of control and arrested during a disturbance with another man Wednesday afternoon. The report provided no additional details on the incident. Police spokesman Sergeant Kendall Adams said he also had no details. Adams said the Marion County Prosecutor's Office declined to file charges. A Jaguar spokesman said they are aware of the incident but have no comment at this time. Telephone message seeking comment was left with Doss's agent Jared Fox. Well, of course he's not going to respond to it. But no, it's boy, it seems like it's a every day. Something's going on. Sharper's attorney, lawyers for former NFL All-Pro safety Darren Sharper are questioning the evidence authorities are using to justify keeping him in jail in Los Angeles without bail on charges that he drugged and sexually assaulted 2 women. Maricopa County Superior Court Judge Warren Granville began a hearing on the subject Wednesday and is expected to conclude it Thursday afternoon. It's the latest development in several ongoing sexual assault investigations involving Sharper in Louisiana, California, Florida, Arizona, and Nevada. Bail in Sharper's California rape case was set at $1 million, but he was also indicted in Arizona last month on charges of sexual assault, administering dangerous drugs, so authorities in California have kept him jailed. The Arizona Constitution automatically denies the bail to people charged with sexual assault if the proof against them is evident or presumption of guilt is great. Wow, what a deal. That is not good. I just don't understand, what makes you want, you think that it's, if you go out there and they got to have something going on. I mean, they got to have something going on in their head. Because, I mean, I just don't think, I can't see you treating women that way. I don't understand that. So the detective also said a search of the apartment turned up a shot glass with white residue in it that turned out to be zolpidem. And California investigators discovered that Sharper had a prescription for that drug, which is commonly sold under the brand name Ambien. Just some creepy people out there. To think that that's what they go to do. We had one here that happened. Oh man, I'll tell you what. I'll talk about that later. But we had one that was just, man, it just made me sick just to hear about it. But I'm going to talk about that in a later break. I want to talk about the Yasiel Puig saga. But I'm gonna get into that here in a little bit. It's right at time for our next break. I'm gonna go into our next break. When we come back, I want to talk about Major League Baseball news, and this is another one that's kind of crazy. It's been all over the news about this. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be back shortly. Once again, this is Matt Hasley. I'm in for Talk Time with Val, the hostess with the mostest, and we'll be back here shortly.
Whether building, expanding, or remodeling, the name in site work is Savino Contracting. Experts in demolition, excavation, sewer and septic tank installation, and site prep. Get in touch on Twitter at Savino Contract or call 508-989-0960 or email to evsavino@yahoo.com. Savino Contracting has what it takes to get the job done.
Glastic water bottle, a shatterproof glass water bottle. It's great for any liquid because everything tastes best in glass. A leak-proof lid you can close and toss on the couch without worry. Chances are it won't ever break, but if it does, no worries. The glass is safely contained inside a protective outer shell, so you won't have a dangerous mess to clean up. You can safely remove the broken glass and get replacements. Go to GlasticWaterBottle.com to get your very own Glastic bottle today. That's GlasticWaterBottle.com. GLASSTIC waterbottle.com. What are you waiting for?
Route 106 Motors is the home of fine pre-owned vehicles. Experience a no-pressure sale with a family-friendly atmosphere. Route 106 Motors has been practicing the same simple philosophy of low prices for over a decade, and it has brought us great success. Recently, while other dealers are closing their doors, Route 106 Motors is expanding. We are a wholesale dealer, and we own the property and pay cash for all the vehicles. This allows us to sell to the consumer for a lot less than the average dealership. We are a high-volume, small-profit dealer, and we pass the savings on to you. New changes have been made at Route 106 Motors. Stop by and check out our brand-new building. Route 106 Motors, located at 569 West Street. Check our website at route106motors.com and be sure to like us on Facebook to find out about all the latest deals and savings opportunities. route106motors.com.
Christian Pleva is Boston's premier wedding and personal photographer, turning his passion to a life's work, he has dedicated himself to bringing his talents to capture the special memories of the beginning of your life's journey together. Christian uses the most updated equipment and software to handle any size wedding event, from full church and reception to a small intimate ceremony in the courthouse. Contact him today at www.christianplevaimages.com for booking information and available dates.
Do you have what it takes? Well, coming May 3rd, Chung Kim's Black Belt Academy will host its 42nd annual U.S. Metropolitan Open Taekwondo Championship. Traditional competitions in forms, board breaking, and point fighting. Ages 4 and up with categories and divisions for kids, teens, adults, and seniors. Competing for over 450 trophies. One of the largest traditional tournaments in the Midwest. For more information, call 563-359-7000 or log on to www.chungkim.com. We'll see you there.
Crown Military Miniatures celebrates this holiday season with an enormous selection of new and vintage collector quality toy soldiers. You have to see the photorealistic detail on the World War II armor, or the sheer volume of the figures from the American Civil War to the Zulu Wars to the Jacobite Rebellion. If soldiers were there, Crown Military Miniatures has it covered in little men cast in pewter. Veterans, active duty personnel, and military enthusiasts, you have to check out Crown Military Miniatures. Visit them online at crowntoysoldiers.com or visit their store at 88 North Broadway in tax-free Salem, New Hampshire. In the morning, you have bacon, you have eggs, pancakes, and that nice big tall cup of coffee. But now, every Monday morning, you can start your week out right with On the Air Monday Morning Brew, starring yours truly, Mike Allen. Hey, that's me. Wake up in the morning, get a nice cup of coffee, kick back before you start your week, and let me send you on your way. Monday's getting a bad rap. Let's turn that around. On the Air with Mike Allen, Monday Morning Brew, every Monday morning, 6 a.m. Central Standard Time, right here on Armed Radio.
So rise and shine.
Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
Once again, this is your host, Matt Hasley. I'm back. We're live on Armed Radio Global, and I am in subbing for Talk Time with Val Anistema. She is under the weather right now, and I'm driving her car, as you'd call it. Hopefully I don't crash it, run it off the cliff. But, no, you can also reach us live You can talk to us on Facebook at Armed Radio 1, or you can hashtag it on Twitter and just hashtag it Armed Radio, and I'll see it pop up on my Armed Radio Global spaceship. Looking here, it looks like the Starship Enterprise. I got my tweet deck going, so yeah, if you want to do is interact with us, you can also call in live and talk to us live on the show at 1-866-225-5401. So anything you want to talk about right now, we're talking about Major League Baseball. Running through the leagues. I know that's not that sexy talk of that that Val says, but she's got a little bit of that Trinidad sexy accent that I can't do. I can't roll my R's that well, but no, Val likes to do is talk about sex and everything like that, and I don't know. I'm just probably not that central talker like she is, but I like to mess with her when she does. But no, anything you want to talk about? But right now I'm going to go into the Major League Baseball. Apparently, in It says Yasiel Puig, who has presented Don Mattingly with plenty of managerial challenges. According to multiple reports, there's a big ESPN story going on detailing a 5-month investigation has received death threats. Puig has received death threats from human traffickers who orchestrated his 2012 defection from Cuba to Mexico. Mattingly said he read the first of those articles Wednesday and gained more nuance of his view of his talented, sometimes reckless outfielder. 2 years ago, Yasiel Puig fled Cuba in the hands of black market smugglers. Scotty, apparently from ESPN, details how the cost of Puig's defection in money and human lives shadows him still. It said, there was so much where I guess they're threatening him to tell him that he owes them still so much money, and it's just crazy. It says the Dodgers front office, including President Stan Kasten and General Manager Ned Colletti, has declined comment of any newly revealed details of Puig's defection. The team hired a security detail and been traveling full-time with the Dodgers since mid-June of last season, days after Puig arrived from AA Chattanooga. Because of their silence, it's unclear how much Puig saga the Dodgers knew, according when they signed him to a 7-year, $42 million contract shortly after he defected. According to reports, Puig owes a Miami businessman, a small-time criminal, 20% of all his baseball earnings after the man orchestrated his escape to Mexico's eastern coast with the help of a Mexican drug cartel. Mattingly said he learned of those details when he got a call from Colletti on Tuesday afternoon alerting him to the first magazine article. It was news to anyone above me. I don't know that, but it's definitely news to me, Mattingly said. I think it was news to everybody in our clubhouse. I know a lot of people check on Yasiel that know a lot more than I do. I'm the manager of a baseball team. I'm not running the whole organization. I'm not the president or ownership. This is a really crazy story about how, says upon receiving his $12 million signing bonus, Puig reportedly paid 20% of his total contract value to the Florida group that brought him into the U.S. If it's true, it's a wild story, Mattingly says. I'm sure it's like all other guys coming out of there also. I'll bet Yasiel's no different than anybody else coming from Cuba. You sit there and you listen to some of the things that went on, and they were threatening to hack his arm off with a machete. They had a name for it. I can't remember what the name was, but if he, they figured if he doesn't pay, he wasn't going to play baseball anywhere. It's crazy. I'm sure there's more going to come out in this, but apparently there were some murders involved in this. It's just crazy, some of the things that are happening. I really feel for, people that have to be oppressed like that, and then to escape from it, and then they haven't fully escaped from it. You think they got out of there, be able to come to the United States, be able to play baseball, be able to, be free of that oppression, and they're still not. They're still being chased by their past, and the people that got them out, it's like, you see people, they smuggle them over from into Mexico, or from Mexico, not into Mexico, but from Mexico into the United States and stuff like that, and then they use them, for almost like slave labor, and they feel that they, that what they don't have anything to say because what are they going to do? Send them back? Well, the people don't want that. There was a place here in Iowa that actually they went through this where it was a milk or a dairy farm, and they were paying out two separate types of checks. one to a documented worker, American worker, or whatever, and then a different style of check, which wasn't paid as much, to an undocumented worker. And when they finally busted the whole ring, it almost shut down the whole town, because it was so many people were involved that worked at that place, and when they shut that business down, it pretty much crushed the town. Well, I mean, people were mad because they went ahead and broke up the ring, but I mean, the people were doing stuff that's illegal. I mean, you're using people like, almost like slaves, and then paying them dirt money and to skirt the law. And then people were mad because they brought it to light. I don't understand it. It's okay as long as it doesn't affect you. So but no, it's a crazy situation that to be involved in like that. You feel for people that way. You hope that doesn't happen here, and I'm sure it does more than we know. And I'm kind of going to go off track here. I'll come back to baseball, but we had an incident here, and I wanted to talk about this. This is because this one really was just a disgusting. I heard about it in the news yesterday. We had, I think it was 4 women, adult women, they're in their 20s and 30s, that were apparently arrested in this a trailer park here that were. I don't know how it's almost too disgusting to talk about. They were taking and dropping their kids off to a place where they knew the kids were going to be sexually assaulted, and they were doing it for money. When I heard about it on the news, I was like, how can you consciously know that and leave your kids there, knowing what is going to happen? I was just floored by it when I heard the news of it. It's just sickening that somebody would do that. And the people that they were dropping them off to were convicted sexual offenders. So, I mean, they knew where they were doing. They knew, and actually, there was a report that some of the ladies stayed and helped them do it. I'm like, what is wrong with people nowadays? I mean, that is just, it's just crazy to think that somebody would allow their kid to be sexually assaulted like that. I mean, I'm sorry, but somebody touches my kid, it's going to be very hard for me not to do is ruin his or her life, as you want to call it. I mean, it would be very hard. It's just, I don't know. I just was like, when I heard that story, it puts a pit in your stomach, to think that, somebody would take a young child and drop them off knowing what's going to happen to them. Yeah, it's, I mean, anybody has any, anything they want to add in about that or anything they want to talk about? I mean, it's just, it's scary to think that people around that are like that. I mean, they had a girl that was 29 and she was abducted from around this area, and they found her. And I don't know if her boyfriend had anything to do with it, but I mean, she was found just into Minnesota, and she was only there for 36 hours, and she was gone for months. So I'm wondering what happened. There's no way she could have been dead for months. So I'm wondering if this, somebody that knew her had her and, like abducted her. But yeah, it's just, there was, apparently on this, it was a child abuse investigation that's going on there. They arrested 4 women, an investigation to production of child pornography at Davenport Trailer Park. Brings total number of adults charged to 8. And suspected child victims to as many as 9. Police accused 5 women leaving their children alone with 2 registered sex offenders who lived together at this mobile home park. I'm just like, some of the abuse occurred inside the trailer. Was recorded, police said. I'm just like, it's a sickening thing that, something you talk about like that. It's a sad thing. I hate to talk about this, but it's something that needs to get out there. It's how you got to do is, watch over your kids all the time. You don't think about it. You think you're taking them to. I remember we when my daughter was really young, and I don't think my boy was born yet. He might not have been, but we were going to, we're vetting a daycare, as you want to call it. We're going to and we went to this house, and it was like, I don't know if you ever gone to a house where you sit down and you feel like the furniture's like you stick to it. And I was just like, something doesn't feel right about this place. And I was like, something. And I look over, and there is her, I don't know, husband or boyfriend or whoever he was, I don't know. Got a beer sitting on top of beer, and he's smoking, and I'm like, and the kids are running around all around him, and I'm like, oh, this is not good. I don't want somebody, to take my child to a daycare where they're smoking. It's just, so, I don't care if somebody smokes, but I don't want to take my kid around it. That's fine. If it subject me to it, that's fine. That's my choice, but I don't want to put my kids into that. But yeah, I turned to my wife and I wrote a little notepad. Not just no, but F no. I was like, and I said, we need to leave now. It was just one of them deals. But yeah, that was just, just makes you sick. To think, I would not want to drop my kid off at that. Yeah, I don't know if anybody saw the video that come through. It's been kind of gone viral where the couple didn't realize their house was broken into till the next day, and all of a sudden they look out and they see their laptop in the neighbor's yard, and they got to, they had cameras in their house, and they go back and check the video feed, and this guy was in their house with a little flashlight going around their house like no big deal, and was not even in a hurry. And they showed him walk into their child's bedroom and was feet from their child who's sleeping in the crib. He even looked in on the kid. I'm like, that's scary. You don't know. Check your doors. Make sure they're locked. And alarms are a lot cheaper nowadays. A lady that lives 2 houses from us, her husband was out of town, and she was, they broke into her house when she was home, and she had locked herself in her bedroom, and said that she was on the phone with 911, and they were rattling her door. And I just like, I'm sorry, but if my husband would have been out of town, or my wife, I'd have to do is definitely make sure that, I'm sorry, I'd handle a little bit different because I'm an ex-police officer, but they would meet a nice large caliber handgun, and they might not like the lead infection that they get from it, but no, it's just it's crazy. We had a rash of break-ins here a few years back, and they were not afraid to break into your house when you were home. They broke right in when you were home. They would run through your house during the evening hours and didn't care. We had a neighbor about 4 houses and across the street from us. They were all sitting there watching TV and broke the front door off the hinges and ran in, and they saw him and ran straight up right out. They ran up the stairs and knocked out the the window of their bathroom and jumped out the window, and off they went onto the deck. And I mean, it was just like crazy. They're not a bit afraid to go into your house at any time. No, it's crime is nasty. I've been as a law enforcement officer for about 13 years, and I've seen just about everything in life you don't want to get involved in, or you don't want to have come visit you. I've been to drive-by shootings. I've been to accidents. I've seen suicides. It's just nasty. You just it's sad what you run across in that line of field. And I'm happy now that being a golf pro, I have a lot less problems than I used to. I mean, I don't run across anybody that generally wants to fight me. I mean, I've had people where they get a little bit too much to drink, but usually you can talk them down and get them out of there. Oh, not to say we haven't had a few people arrested out there, of course, but usually comes a little bit too inebriated. But getting back to the MLB, Hanley Ramirez is expected to miss the game. Dodger shortstop Hanley Ramirez got plunked on the hand from a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and X-rays came back negative. The swelling had subsided Thursday, but not sufficiently for him to be in Thursday night's lineup against the Giants. Ramirez said he will miss a game, but he'll be back in the lineup Friday after getting hit in the hand by a pitch on Wednesday night. Man, imagine getting smacked by one of those things. That's gotta be nasty. He says, "I'm not going to try. I'm going to be in there." Ramirez said, "For sure, I'm going to be there tomorrow." I just, you look at some of those guys they throw. They show that one guy. What is it? Last year, I think it was. He set the record at 106 miles an hour. Imagine getting hit by one of those. I wouldn't want to get hit by the, Charlie Huff, the guy who throw 58 miles an hour or something like that. But also in San Francisco, police say several people suffered minor injuries when a fan threw a firework onto a walkway during a Los Angeles Dodgers San Francisco Giants game on Wednesday night. The San Francisco Chronicle reports umpires temporarily halted play about 9:30 p.m. Wednesday after a loud explosion was heard and smoke was seen in the area above center field. Witnesses report seeing a man in a Giants hat in the outfield bleachers throw a large firecracker into a group of people near a concession stand. At least 5 people reported injuries, including dizziness and temporary loss of hearing. Police spokesman Gordon Shai tells the Chronicle a 21-year-old Paolo Pavone was booked on suspicion of willfully discharging possession of an explosive and discharging a firework in a public place. Wow. In Texas, when I lived there, it was legal to have fireworks, but you couldn't have them inside the city limits of San Antonio. They did anyway. I mean, God, it was like you could sell them right outside the city limits, so they just went outside the city limits, and they drive for, a block or two, turn around, come back in. Well, when I was a police officer and we were on patrol, and it was just, it's hilarious. I couldn't believe we're sitting in a car and we're side by side, and I won't use the guys' names because I don't want to do his everything yet, but we're 2 patrol cars side by side, and the officer I was riding with says to me, he goes, "Light me," and I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Light me," and I'm like, "Are you serious?" And he goes, "Yes, light me." So he had an M80 in his hand, and he threw it outside the car, and we thought it was going to do his, just hit on the top of the car. What hits the window, inside frame of the window, and lands in the other officer's lap that's next to us in his car. Well, it ends up falling to the floorboard of the car. Well, we didn't know it at the time, and I'm like, "Take off." I'm like, "Go, go, go." Well, the guy's name was Don. He goes to get out of his car with the seatbelt still hooked on, and he's trying to step out. And you got to imagine what it's like to try to get out of your car, and he can't get out. And his rider is just sitting there with his fingers in his ear with his head turned sideways. And I'm like, all of a sudden you just see the whole car light up. And there's paper filled everywhere in that car. Like it didn't damage it. It was not a very good M80 or whatever like the years ago when they, I mean, heck, you drop an M80 in there and probably leave a hole in the bottom of the floorboard. But yeah, it was like everywhere in the car paper. And he got out and he was so mad. And I just couldn't believe the guy. I mean, it was a perfect throw. Went right in his lap, and then it fell onto the floor, thank God. But to watch a guy try to get out of the car, and he's trying to step out, and his seatbelt is strapped him in, and it's pulling him back into the car. I mean, he's almost completely out of the car, and that seatbelt is yanking him back. Oh, God. Yeah, I'd never seen anything like it. It was just crazy, but... I mean, to see somebody throw a firecracker in a perfect throw. But, no, that's, they can be pretty dangerous. You know, I'm sure you see everybody, throughout the years get injured pretty badly over them. But my Cubbies made the news yesterday. Apparently the Yankees, and I don't even want to talk about what the score was, but Yankees topped the Cubs for a day-night doubleheader. They swept them both. The morning and evening games, or day and evening games, and they shut them out. Didn't score a run. I'm like, oh, God, it's so painful to watch. I love the Cubs, but it's so painful. I wish they could just, I wish they could get it going or get something going because it's just so frustrating to watch. We're going to be switching over to NBA news, but right now it's time for our... quick break here. Once again, this is your host, Matt Hasley. I'm in for Valenistama. She's under the weather. And this is Armed Radio Global.
I can't believe she's going. I said, please show me.
Hey, listen up. Are you tired of being tired? Looking for that extra boost? Do yourself a favor and visit buylimitlessenergy.com to learn about limitless energy. That's buylimitlessenergy.com for limitless energy. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. buylimitlessenergy.com. That's buylimitlessenergy.com. So stop wasting your life. Get limitless energy now.
Visit crafterstown.com, your website to buy and sell arts and crafts worldwide. At Crafterstown, you will find unique arts and crafts from around the world. We also have Grammy's Tips of the Day blog for shortcuts to crafting. Take a walk down Main Street at crafterstown.com. Glastic Water Bottle, a shatterproof glass water bottle. It's great for any liquid because everything tastes best in glass. A leak-proof lid you can close and toss on the couch without worry. Chances are it won't ever break, but if it does, no worries. The glass is safely contained inside a protective outer shell so you won't have a dangerous mess to clean up. You can safely remove the broken glass and get replacements. Go to GlasticWaterBottle.com to get your very own Glastic bottle today. That's GlasticWaterBottle.com. GLASSTIC waterbottle.com. What are you waiting for?
Do you love film? Do you want to star in one this summer? Check out OrangeLeafFilms.com, an indie film company made for making moments last. This summer, Orange Leaf Films' new film, Sin, a story of a modern take on the 7 deadly sins, is coming soon. To learn more about being in the film or helping the production crew, go to OrangeLeafFilms.com for more details.
Do you love to travel? Are you tired of the cold? Do you just want to get away? Book your next flight, hotel, car, vacation, cruise, and more at SweetOhinawaDiscountTravel.com. That's Sweet, NEWAA discounttravel.com. Invite your friends and family. Thank you for your business.
It's freaking crazy hot at mobilewebsites.com. Everyone and their grandma is mobile. Get more mobile customers before your competition does. HotMobileWebsites.com will custom design an eye-popping mobile website, then throw in a free domain and hosting for 1 whole year. All done for you for only $259. That's right, $259. That's crazy and hot. Over $1,000 in savings. Never any setup fees or contracts. Go to hotmobilewebsites.com or call now, 877-220-5576. That's 877-220-5576. One more time, 877-220-5576.
VOX Mobile has an app that gives you a second phone line, second voicemail, and low-cost calling, so you no longer have to buy unlimited minutes from your mobile phone service provider. The VOX Mobile app has free texting and free video calls to other subscribers. But get this, VOX has phone numbers from 57 countries. You can download a foreign phone number from your home, or download a phone number from your home country when you're away. Then when people in that country call you, they get the cost of a local call, even when your mobile phone is overseas. And VOX gives you unlimited inbound calls for only $9.95 a month. Check out VOX Mobile on Google Play or on iTunes. That's VOX Mobile. It's under the mobile VoIP apps, or just search for VoIP. VOX is the only carrier with all these features on its app. Visit the website, voxcorp.net.
Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. Every Monday and Friday, 9 p.m. Central Time. Only on Armed Radio Global.
Welcome back to, I was about ready to say Straight Talk with Matt Hasley, but it's night. I'm about to say Night Talk. Talk time with Val, and I'm subbing, so I'm so used to saying Straight Talk with Matt Hasley, but I'm Talk time with Val and Eastema tonight. I am her substitute host here, as you call it, or fill in. She is under the weather. Hopefully she'll be back next week. But we're listening to a little vintage Steve Winwood there. I like Steve Winwood. If you'd like to do is interact with the show, you can call in live at 1-866-225-5401. You can also reach us on Facebook at Armed Radio 1. Or you can also do is reach us on Twitter and just hashtag it Armed Radio, and I'll see it pop up there on my Armed Radio Global spaceship here at the Starship Enterprise or whatever. I'll see if you tweet anything or something like that, it'll pop up for you, and as long as you hashtag it Armed Radio. I like the special thanks to our sponsors out there. We got Vox Mobile. Get a local phone number when you're out of country and receive unlimited calls to it for one low monthly price. Also, Savvy Souls. You have that special lady that you're taking care of, or you just want to do is make her special and take her shopping. Log on to Savvy, Savvy Souls. I got a special giveaway going too. Pretty much 40 to 50% off most shoes, and mention Armed Radio and get an extra 10%. So we were switching over to NBA news, and it says medical marijuana pot makes sense. Apparently Los Angeles Clippers forward Blake Griffin has added his voice to and other professional sports leagues to investigate allowing the use of medical marijuana as a means to manage pain. It really, it doesn't really affect me, but so many guys would probably benefit from it. It's not, and not take as many painkillers, which have worse long-term effects, Griffin said in an interview with Rolling Stone magazine. So I would vote yes. I just think it makes sense. And I got to agree with him. If medical marijuana, if it is going to help that person and they don't have to, I mean, for them to be able to take it instead of getting hooked on like, Oxycontin or something like that, or hydrocodone or anything like that, because it's supposed to be so addictive and it's going to help with their pain, let them. I mean, I've gone through, I had a surgery on my hand. I had to end up having 7 screws put in, and I'm still suffering through, with pain from that. It's been a year ago December when I had the surgery. Actually, I take it back. I broke it a year ago December. I had the surgery on it a year ago January. And it took me, I think I can't remember how many weeks I went through after they finally took the cast off, and I went through physical therapy, and I don't, they can call it physical therapy all they want. It's more like physical torture. I mean, it was crazy. And the pain that I was going through, and what they do is they'd ask me, okay, you got any more painkillers? And I'd be like, nope. And they're like, okay, and they just write me another prescription and give it to me. And I mean, I don't know how many months or prescriptions I went through, and they weren't just giving me prescription for 12 of them. They were giving me prescriptions of 30 or 40 of them at a time. And I mean, I still have pain now from it, and I'm not on painkillers anymore, thank God. But it went quite a while. I mean, it takes quite a while for your. And I actually think the longer you stay on them, the more your system gets accustomed to it, and then it doesn't seem like it dulls the pain as much, and then you're having to take more. I still have problems with my hand. I can make a fist, but I can't take any contact to it. Last night, my boy, I was just messing with him a little bit. My 15-year-old, he turned his chair. He's got one of those high-back leather chairs, and he spun the chair around to kind of get away from me and cracked me in the hand, and man, that hurt. I mean, he just caught me just right, and that's all it takes. I got to be, they were going to send me back in and pull it all out, and I was just like, the luck I have with it, it probably would break. He said, you could actually break your hand. Your hand could, could fracture your hand pulling the screws out, and you would probably be in a cast for 4 weeks anyway after you got it out, because they'd have to wait for the holes to heal up to make sure that you're not going to re-break your hand again. And I said, nah, I'll pass. But apparently I have one of the nerves that goes right across the top of the 2 heads of the screws that they have them like crisscrossed in there almost. And I mean, you can feel them in there. It's kind of nasty. But anybody that's gone through that, they know what it's like. You get these NBA players. Almost every one of them have knee injuries, or they're draining fluid off their knees, or their shoulders and elbows and everything like that. You see on ankles. I mean, almost every one of them twists, high ankle sprains, stuff like that. And then looking at the NFL, same way. I mean, if it's going to cause some of these guys less pain, and it's less addictive than the Oxycontin, well, hey, great. I mean, that's the one thing I Mike Allen and I, Mike Allen's an ex-police officer too. And that's the one thing that I've never done. I've never fought a guy high on marijuana. I have fought guys on high on other things. It's usually the most things that you get out of a guy that's high in marijuana is he stops at the local donut shop, or he's helping the fast food industry with their bottom line, because he's buying food, because he's Usually when they're high on marijuana, they're getting a little hungry. But no, I would support it. I would think so. I mean, it's someday I think it'll be eventually legal. I don't know when. I mean, I'm not just talking about in Colorado. I mean, I'm talking about everywhere. I mean, heck, it grows wild. I mean, you don't have to do anything and it grows wild. So, I mean, it's not like it's something that, I don't know why it's okay for, somebody to legally drink beer, but, tax it. Make it legal and tax it. What the heck? It doesn't mean I'm going to do it, but if they want to make taxes off it, what the heck? Apparently, God, I can't even talk. LeBron James tops jersey sales. This is the listing of jersey sales for the NBA. How they go in order. LeBron James, number 1. Kevin Durant of the Thunder, 2. Kobe Bryant, 3. Still with the baddest season they had. Derrick Rose for the Bulls, 4. And I mean, Derrick hasn't played but hardly any for the last 2 seasons. Stephen Curry from the Warriors, 5th. Carmelo Anthony of the Knicks, 6th. Dwayne Wade of the Heat, 7. Chris Paul of the Clippers, 8. Kyrie Irving from the Cavs, 9. James Harden from the Rockets, 10. And he ought to get a attaboy from Joe Meehan of the Beard Brigade. Yeah, he's got the full beard there. Blake Griffin from the Clippers, 11. Russell Westbrook from the Thunder, 12. Rajon Rondo from the Celtics, 13. Soon to be, could be another team here shortly. Tim Duncan of the Spurs, 14. And Paul George of the Pacers, 15. Let's see here. MJ, Michael Jordan. He introduced new Air Jordan XX9. So 29. Michael Jordan introduced the 29th version of his shoe at an event hosted by Nike Jordan Brand in Manhattan on Thursday. The Air Jordan 29, which will be sold for $225. A pair is 2 distinct designs beginning in September, featured a high-tech weaving process that designer Tinker Hatfield found in Italy. The upper part of the shoe will be made in Italy in flat sheets and shipped to Asia where the rest of the shoe will be produced. That's wild. The shoes don't even look like they match each other. You're looking at them. Hatfield, who designed 17 of the 29 Air Jordan shoes, said the process to design the shoe took more than 2 years and involved a team of at least 20 people. One version of the shoe is a familiar black, red, and white Chicago Bulls colorway. Features the familiar elephant print used in one of the most popular Air Jordan shoes, the Air Jordan 3, which debuted in 1988. It was, first shoe in the franchise that the Hatfield designed. The elephant print is a unique icon that people can associate back to the brand and to Michael himself. Excuse me. Inhaled the wrong way there. When you watch television, things start to not look distinctive, Hatfield said. This shoe won't have that problem. Air Jordan is the most popular signature basketball shoe in the world. In the U.S. alone, 2.5 billion worth of Air Jordans were sold in 2013. Wow. 2.5 billion. Anybody have $550 million laying around? Well, longtime Milwaukee Bucks owner Herb Cole announced Wednesday that he has reached an agreement to sell the team to hedge fund billionaire Wesley Edens and Mark Lazary for about $550 million. The deal is subject to approval by the NBA and Board of Governors. In January, Forbes valued the Bucks at $405 million, last among the league's 30 franchises. Cole, a longtime U.S. senator who bought the team for $18 million in 1985, made keeping it in Milwaukee a condition of the sale. It is also believed Cole, while relinquishing majority control, will retain a significant percentage of the team. The Bucks have fallen way short of expectations after harboring hopes of making a playoff push. They will finish the season with the worst record in the NBA. Wednesday's announcement will bring an upbeat conclusion to Cole's search for buyers who wouldn't try to move the team, has nearly 30 years of ownership and deep ties to the state of Wisconsin. Said the average salary for the Bucks is $3.7 million, $3.788. The Jazz is 3.77, Magic is 3.5, Suns 3.4, and the 76ers is 2.8. Yeah, the 76ers have dropped 41%. So, yeah, it's I'm sure that'll be good for them. I know that they're looking after Rondo, from what sources say, that they're trying to get Rajon Rondo to sign with the Milwaukee. That's one of the rumors, that he might go to there. Well, right now we're going to do is go into our celebrity birthday segment here. Let me find moving around on my screens here. Let's see here. And I got to start out again. Once again, today is my daughter Megan's birthday. She is 19. Happy birthday, Megan. But let's see here. Oh, Victoria Beckham, singer, 40. Jennifer Garner, TV actress, 42. Sean Bean, if you remember him, 55, TV actor, and he was in, I'm trying to think of the one. It was where when they were stealing they stole the, I don't know if it was the Declaration of Independence or whatever. He was the bad guy in it. I'll think of it. Luke Mitchell, 29, TV actor. Olivia Hussey, movie actress, 63. Eliza Doolittle, 26, singer. Dee Dee Davis, 18, TV actress. Boy, she doesn't look 18. She looks like she's about 12. Reginald Redmond Noble, 44, a rapper. Rooney Mara, 29, movie actress. Roddy Piper, 60, professional wrestler. Kimberly Elise, 47, movie actress. Oh, she's a cutie. Gabriel Soto, 39, TV actor. Maynard James Keenan, 50, singer. William Holden, would have been his birthday, died in 1981. He's a movie actor. Entrepreneur J.P. Morgan, died in 1913. It was his birthday today. Tammy Roman, reality star, 44. Joe Winfield Tsonga, 29, male tennis player. I don't know why they could put male in front of it, but I mean, of course, he looks. Leela Roshan, 50, movie actress. Boomer Esiason, NFL football player. Mikhail Akerfeld, guitarist, 40. C.J. Watson, Bulls basketball player, 30. Liz Phair, 47, singer. Romain Grosjean, 28, race car driver. Henry Ian Cusack, 47, TV actor. Yeah, Avi Kaplan, 25, singer. David Bradley, 72, movie actor. Harry Reisner, he was 1991, he passed away, a journalist. Lindsay Hartley, 36, TV actress. Andy Minogue, 26, rapper. Christine Sutherland, 59, TV actress. Joel Murray, 51, TV actor. James Herbert Keenan, 50, singer. I think that was on there earlier. Jacqueline McCannis, or McInnes, I'm sorry, 27, TV actress. Let's see here. Constance Jablonski, 23, model. She got eyes that just melt you. Monet Majeur, 38, TV actress. Michael Sembello, 60, a guitarist. Claire Sweeney, soap opera actress, she's 43. Jacqueline Wood, 27, TV actress. Adam McKay, 46, director. And Richard Bassett, politician, passed away in 1815. So happy birthday out there, everybody, on April 17th. And on this day in history, in music history, let's see here. Oops, I think I did regular. Let's go back here. Music history. Let's see here. 1953, Benny Goodman returned to Carnegie Hall after 15 years. My dad would have known that trivia question. He, big band fan. 1960, Eddie Cochran died in Bath, England, from severe brain injuries sustained in a car crash near Chippenham, Wiltshire. 1964, Rolling Stones debut album, The Rolling Stones, was released in the UK. In 1964, the FBI lab reported that it could not determine the lyrics to Louie Louie. 1964, Them made their first concert appearance. 1969, the band played its first concert as an independent group. 1970, Johnny Cash performed at the White House at an invitation for President Richard Nixon. He played A Boy Named Sue. 1980, Bob Marley and the Wailers performed the official guests of the state of Zimbabwe's Independence Festival. 1993, Susanna Hoffs, the Bangles, and screenwriter Jay Roach were married. In 1995, Courtney Love and her band Hole performed on the 6th season premiere of MTV's Unplugged. In 2002, Tammy Wynette's 4 daughters reached a confidential agreement with Wynette's doctor over her death. Wynette's daughters filed a lawsuit that claimed that the Pittsburgh doctor had contributed to Wynette's death in 1998. So that's their day in music history. And regular history today, let's see here. In 1860, New Yorkers learned of a new law that required fire escapes to be provided at tenant houses. In 1861, Virginia became the 8th state to secede from the Union. In 1864, Civil War General Grant banned the trading of prisoners. 1875, the game snooker was invented by Sir Neville Chamberlain. I don't know if you ever played snooker. That's tough to play. A little confusing, too. Let's see. 1917, a bill in Congress to establish daylight saving time was defeated. It passed a couple months later. In 1935, Lights Out debuted on NBC Radio, and it ran till 1952. 1941, Igor Sikorsky accomplished the first successful helicopter liftoff from water near Stratford, Connecticut. Let's see here. 1947, Jackie Robinson, Brooklyn Dodgers, performed a bunt for his first major league hit. 1964, the Ford Motor Company unveiled its new Mustang model. 1967, the Joey Bishop Show debuted on ABC TV. In 1970, Apollo 13 returned to Earth safely after an onboard accident with an oxygen tank. Let's see what else we got there. Sounds good. In 1993, A federal jury in Los Angeles convicted 2 former police officers of violating the civil rights of beaten motorist Rodney King. The 2 other officers were acquitted. In 1996, Eric and Lyle Menendez were sentenced to life in prison without parole for killing their parents. In hard to believe that's 1993 when Rodney King. Wow. In 1999, in India, the government Prime Minister Atal Bihari Vajpayee collapsed after losing a vote of confidence. And in last 2002, at the National Maritime Museum in London, the exhibit Skin Deep, A History of Tattooing opened. Well, that should be more. Tattoo Ricks. I'm sure he'll probably have that on his show Monday. But, yep, we got a great lineup of shows. We have, go quick through the lineup here. We got Monday mornings, you got Morning Brew with Mike Allen. And it is 6 a.m. to 7:30 Central Standard Time. Then you got Afternoon Bites with Tara and Tattoo Rick. They come on from at noon Central Time to, I think it's 1:30. And then I come in Monday nights for Straight Talk with Matt Hasley from 9 to 11 p.m. Central Time. And then Tuesday and Thursday from 7 to 9 Central, you got Talk Time with Val. And then on Tuesday, you got the John and Jay Show. They come from 9 to 11. And on Thursday, you got the Big Kahuna. Joe Rocks comes in from 9 to 11 Central. That's 10 to midnight Eastern. And then once again, I wrap out the week with Straight Talk with Matt Hasley on Friday nights from 9 to 11. So make sure you tune in and interact with us. So, all right, I'm going to give you guys, I have to give you a trivia question. So if you want to win a hat, if you want to win a Bridgestone hat offered to us by our friends at Bridgestone Golf, we're going to have a trivia question here. And it's, since we just had the Masters go by, and, it's always great to have Masters trivia. We had one question that went by, and I had a lot of guesses at it, but nobody came right with the right answer. Of course, I'm not going to ask that same question. I'm going to ask something different, but if you, my trivia question is, who is the last player to have an albatross at the Masters? So, who is the last player to have an albatross at the Masters? Once we get done with the show, I'll post it on Arm Radio Facebook, and you can answer your questions there. And if you don't know what an albatross is a 2 on a par 5. So if you're not a big golf fan or you're not quite sure, you can do is answer in on Arm Radio Facebook. So it's Facebook.com/Arm Radio 1. And if you already got your answer, you can answer it now, because if I go to there and I see that your response to the trivia question is already there, you'll be the winner, and it's the first correct answer. So once again, who is the last player to make an albatross at the Masters? So, of course, Mike Allen and anybody affiliated with Armed Radio is not eligible to win, and neither is my brother. Mike Hasley, you are not eligible to win. So, I don't know if he's listening in, but if he does, he likes to be a spoiler and post when he sees the questions. So, but if you'd like to win free hat from Bridgestone Golf, and I'll even ship it to you for free, so don't worry about that. So if you'd like to win a hat, all you have to do is answer who was the last player to have an albatross at the Masters. Couldn't be any easier than that. Okay, well, I did want to talk about this couple. I don't know if you heard about them. Apparently a couple charged with welfare fraud arrested in Florida. The Minnesota couple who allegedly received more than $167,000 worth of public assistance from Minnesota while living in Florida on a $1.2 million yacht have been arrested. The Hennepin County Attorney Office said that Colin Chisholm III and Andrea Chisholm were deported from the Bahamas on Monday and arrested that night when they landed near Fort Lauderdale, Florida. The Chisholm's son and dog were then turned over to the family members. They are currently being held in Florida. They are expected to appear in extradition court on Wednesday to say whether they will return to Minnesota willingly or wish to fight extradition. The Chisholms are charged with one count of wrongfully obtaining public assistance for more than $35,000. It's a felony charge. These rich folks ripped off the system, said Hennepin County Attorney Mike Freeman when he announced the arrest warrant on March 21st. I mean, think about it. These people are living on a $1.2 million yacht and are getting public assistance. It just, you shake your head. And apparently this is, there was another lady that, I don't say another lady because this was a guy and a lady, but there was also a lady that was apparently fraudulently did her taxes, and she took every deduction you think you can take. I mean, she took new car, new home, blah, 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 whatever, green energy, you name it. She tried to take Maxim, given to charity, everything. And they went through and found out that she had not done any of what she said. And the funny thing about it was, where did she work? The Internal Revenue Service. Apparently she thought that she had enough people there at the Internal Revenue Service. But when her refund would have been right around $30-some thousand. I'm like, duh. Doesn't you think that would just kind of trigger somebody to make them look into it? I'm just like, wow. The greed of some people. Some people are struggling making it check to check, and having a hard time surviving. And these people are trying to bilk the money. I mean, what did they come out with last week that they said that over $4 billion of fraudulent, where people didn't even, it's under other people's names they're scamming. So the guys that get caught doing this, great. I think it's awesome. They need to catch more of them. But, yeah, you get these, I hate the guys that, I don't know, a lot of people, if you're listening, you got a computer. If you've been out and you've been surfing around on a website and all of a sudden it pops up and says you got a virus. And it tells you to do this to get rid of the virus. And then when you go on, you actually end up installing the thing on, and then they make you pay for something to take it off. I'm like, that's such dishonesty. It's so, to sit there and, knowingly make this thing, put this virus on or this malware or whatever you want to call it. And then the person has to spend money to get this off their computer. I think it's crazy. It's like I don't know how, it's kind of hard to explain, really. A lot of people don't realize that. They don't realize, they think that, it's something that they did. Well, it might be, I've had my kids go on and accidentally install stuff because they don't know what they're doing. I look over at their computer and I see 8 toolbars, and it's like the Yahoo toolbar, the Google toolbar, and everything they install, they just keep clicking yes, and it has check marked on, and it's And they'll end up having 3-4 Google toolbars and 3-4 Yahoo toolbars and different, search bars. I mean, you don't need them. You don't need it takes up memory of your computer. It slows your computer down. I mean, it's just a mess. I took the A+ certification course years ago, and it's amazing what, people that, how they don't know a lot about computers, and they just bilk you over the coal, or rake you over the coals, just ripping you off. I mean, computers are, everybody thinks, oh my God, they're so hard to deal with. They're so hard to put together. I mean, I build them up from scratch. And I mean, I could teach 12-year-old kids to do it. It's not that hard. The hardest part of it is the software aspect of it. Is, knowing what you can do and what you can't do without accidentally getting yourself into, into malware, and constantly checking for it too. I mean, it's just like your bank account. You got to watch your bank account. You got to watch your computer. I mean, it's amazing, what's out there. I mean, they got the guys that, they can do just about anything. Like, yeah, I don't know what that movie was. It was with where he goes. He shut down NORAD with a laptop. Oh, I'm trying to think of the name of it. It was one of the Die Hard movies with. What's his name? God, I'm losing it tonight, but. Oh God, he was in Die Hard 5 just recently. I watched part of it. I end up watching movies too late. I get off the air here and I go to watch a movie and it ends up being 1 o'clock in the morning and I end up falling asleep in my chair. But yeah, it's I can't stay awake through movies anymore. Maybe I need some of that limitless energy. Yeah, that's what I need. So I have that synergistically to work to give me that enhanced movie watching capabilities or whatever it is. But no, it's once again, our trivia question for tonight is, who is the last player to make an albatross at the Masters? And pretty easy question there, I think. And somebody should be able, but I'm going to be talking more probably tomorrow night. The NHL playoffs are getting underway, and but I'm not going to worry about that too much tonight. And NBA playoffs are also getting underway, but they actually don't start till Saturday, so we're going to leave that behind. But apparently Louisville is inked a deal for $40 million shoe and apparel deal to remain with Adidas. Wow, $40 million. The deal through 2018 and 2019 school year ranks among the nation's top 5 shoe and apparel deals for college programs. Louisville has affiliated with Adidas for the past 16 years. Wow, $40 million. Just to think what these, these different companies will pay for this. But apparently the Athletes Union is criticizing Northwestern. You think about these shoe deals and the uniform deals, but it says the Athletes Union criticizing Northwestern. College Athletes Players Association is criticizing Northwestern University argument for overturning a ruling that would allow the school's football players to unionize. Northwestern is appealing the ruling by regional director and National Labor Relations Board who said that the school's football players are employees under federal law and thus entitled to unionize. CAPA says Northwestern has not established grounds for review of the regional director's fact-finding. Wednesday's filing also attacks other parts of the appeal. The players are set to vote by secret ballot on April 25th on whether to form a union. CAPA would represent them. The Evanston, Illinois-based university argues in the appeal that its athletic program is fully integrated with its academic mission. and that it treats its athletes as students first. Well, I mean, yes and no. They talk about how much these kids work, over the summer. They're going through football drills and all that. And what happens to if they decide not to stay in football? Well, they lose their scholarship. So it's not, and it's really, for what have you done for me lately? Really. But, quickly, a little bit of NASCAR news there. Switching over, Kentucky nationwide race gets a sponsor. Apparently, Kentucky Office of the Highway Safety will be the title sponsor for the Kentucky Speedway June 27th NASCAR Nationwide Series race. The John R. Elliott Hero Campaign 300 is the middle event of the triple header weekend at the 1.5-mile track, including the 225-mile Camping World Truck Series race on June 26th, and the Sprint Cup Series 400-mile headliner on June 28th. Wednesday announced continue a partnership between the Speedway and Department's Hero program intended to promote the use of a designated drivers. Well, that's good. The race is named for Elliott, a Navy ensign and U.S. Navy Academy graduate who was killed on a head-on collision with a drunk driver in July of 2000. While traveling home to New Jersey from Annapolis, Maryland, Elliott's family established the National Hero Campaign for Designated Drivers. Like I said earlier, if you're going to drink, don't drive. But nobody listens, and they all go, oh, it won't happen to me. Swan's racing future is in doubt. Swan Racing is reviewing its ability to compete in NASCAR because of difficulty securing corporate sponsorship for 2-year car operations. Swan Racing owner Brandon Davis, the CEO of independent oil and gas company Swan Energy, bought the organization late in 2012. Cole Witt drives the number 26 Toyota Camry, and Parker Klingerman drives the number 30 Toyota Camry for Swan in the Sprint Cup Series. The team has been unable to secure the kind of sponsorship required to effectively operate the team. Swan Racing said in a statement, as a result, the team management is exploring every available option. We hope to be in a position to provide a detailed update in the future. You know what they ought to do is just go after Bill Gates and have Bill Gates sponsor it, because he could probably, that or Warren Buffett. I mean, so what the heck? Tell them you'll make it rename the car Windows 8, or whatever, or Windows 9. There you go, and let him. He could sponsor it. That'd be like pocket change for him. They say it costs Bill Gates more to bend down to pick up a $100 bill than it does to just keep on walking. He makes more per minute than if he stopped to pick it up. I mean, that's crazy. So once again, I'm going to do is mention that our trivia question. So remember, you got to answer it on ARM Radio Facebook, on ARM Radio 1 on Facebook, and it is, who is the last player to play in the Masters and make an albatross? That's a 2 on a par 5. So if you answer that, and first, and I'm going to post it on Facebook, on ARM Radio Facebook. So the last player to make an albatross at the Masters, and you win a free hat from Bridgestone, from our friends at Bridgestone Golf. And once again, our lineup for this, for the coming week, remember Mike Allen, Monday morning with Morning Brew. He starts from 6 to 7:30 Central Time. Then you got Afternoon Bites with Tara and Tattoo Rick. And they come on from noon to 1:30. And then myself, 9 to 11 p.m. Central Time on Mondays and Fridays. And then you got Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 to 9 p.m. You got Talk Time with Val and Eastema. And it's Hot Talk for the Hot Topic. I'm subbing for her tonight, so it's not quite the Hot Talk tonight. But also 9 p.m. Central Time on Tuesday night, you got the John and Jay Show. And that's 10 p.m. Eastern. Those guys are hilarious. I got to listen to them the other night. And then Thursday night, you have, which follows me tonight. You got Night Talk with Joe Rocks, and they're coming on in about 2 minutes here. So I got to get out of the way. Let the big dog. Night Talk with Joe Rocks with his co-host, The Dog. And then tomorrow night, I'll be on again from 9 to 11 p.m. Central Time with Straight Talk with Matt Hasley. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, and we'll have some more trivia questions. And won't everybody have a good night tonight? And hopefully Val will be back next week. Hope everything's better and she's feeling better so we can get her back. I always like messing with Val. So once again, hope everybody has a great night, and we'll see you tomorrow night.